Hello and welcome to Requiem, Empire of the Lost, Week 9. Next. Yeah.
It's not impure anymore?
No.
Impure.
No. I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. How you guys doing?
Pretty cool.
Question, is charisma an attribute?
Kind of.
Somewhat.
Okay, cool. I told you I'm a catch.
Can't put points.
Especially in this form.
Can't put points into charisma. Need to be there.
But no, it's not. So, how's everybody doing? Doing pretty good?
Yeah.
Still fueled with hate, as ever.
Starting to believe that's just your norm.
Oh,
It is, but she's in a good mood today.
Yeah. This is the happiest you've ever seen her.
I'm at the right levels for sadism.
She's
Everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna talk
happiest
to
you've
this
seen her
nice
at the
man.
beginning of a stream.
You mean You mean crowism? Ha 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 ha.
Get out.
But let's go ahead and just jump right into where we last left off. The scene opens up with a bolt of heat lightning caressing the sky as it moves through the many dark that still have yet to scatter, or yet to coalesce into the giant black sun that has become iconic in describing the dark plane. As it moves past the hordes, it gets altered by a pillar of lava that shoots out from the ground, embracing the sky with light and heat that makes the plane itself seem to light up more, but in a red, deep, hateful light. As the camera moves down, we meet the party standing at their next obstacle, a singular person whose face looks to be leatherized, slightly bovine in nature, and caressed over him looks to be thick plated chainmail, which has large faces for shoulder plates that look to be in agony on one side and the other almost painful glee. His arms look to be crossed tightly across his chest, and his legs seem to be spread open, not necessarily in a stance that looks like the party could easily take him, but one of someone holding his ground, and his eyes locked on each individual in front of him, as his dark grayed whiskers for hairs just move with the heat that seems to be radiating in the area. As that is where we're starting today.
Last session, you said that he looked familiar to me. Am I able to discern how familiar he is with me, or can I roll something for that?
You can roll a knowledge history.
Since you said specifically me, I'm gonna say knowledge demon first.
Looking at him, he does not seem to recollect anything to you for demonic reasons.
Can I roll a knowledge history now?
Yes.
Okay. How much do I have now?
The difference is a knowledge demon would be to know them for being an important demon. Knowledge history
Right.
is known for your own knowledge.
Alright.
Person.
I was just going off the idea that maybe he was a demon, since he said specifically me.
You bury deep into your thoughts, trying to recollect what it is that this person means to you. doing so leads you into a place that is less your own memories, but the remaining fragments of the body that you inhabited. You can't pinpoint it exactly, but it's like you have an innate fear of this creature that rationally you technically don't have.
I think he killed me. Huh. That's interesting. Excuse me, sir.
He would remain solid and quiet, eyes locked on all of you.
Did you ever come across a village back on the plain of Tillith? Kind of a bunch of drab-looking people. Burned it down. Mass grave. Is this ringing any bells?
For the first time, you watch as his stone-like appearance slowly arcs as his gaze narrows on the Shaitan secured behind the group.
Hey.
It would pause there for what seems like minutes before he would turn to face all of you once more and speak out to you all. What is your reason for being here?
Well, we're trying to get passage to get to the spire over yonder. This seems to be the only place we could really go in order to get to said spire. So all we're looking for right now is just passage right through. We won't stay too long. In fact, long at all. We just want to get through. That's it.
And what reason would I have to let lessers walk through my domain?
Your domain. What is the name of said domain? I'm not quite familiar with this place.
It is the pinnacle of my success, the monument to the graves I've created to be here. My Black Scar.
Black Scar. That's a nice name. Are there any more of you? As I try to look behind his bicep.
I own legions at my very wake. Thousands bend a knee simply to wish to gaze upon me. Tell me why I should let you pass.
I'm just gonna sense motive, see if he's not bullshitting me on that.
Could he be?
You're kind of hoping he was.
Well, we need to deal with someone at the nothing. It's kind of a personal matter with us. We need to get. It's for a deal. Trying to get something for over person in the marsh. I don't know if do you know Mr. Riceland?
You don't have to.
His upper lip would sneer as he would give off a audible scoff.
You do know him. Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of trying to just do this thing so we can get out of his hair and just get out of this place. Maybe might help us. I don't know. Do you have any issues with Riceland? Any issues with the person at the spire? Might be able to help you out with that. Take out a bit of the competition.
Don't dare to assume that these petty squabbles even reach my knee.
Okay. I'm gonna do another sense motive on that.
You feel like there is something that he wants, but definitely not of what it is you two guys have to do.
I don't know, I feel like there's, if you don't mind me asking, it feels like there's something more that you might want, at least out of those two, or out of this situation. Care to open up?
Any that wants my counsel must prove it. Prove to me you're worth the time.
Define proof.
With that, he would turn and begin to walk down the bone ribcage of stone and fire, leading to the black scar.
I think that's our cue, guys. This one's gonna swivel past everyone and start following him.
I'm gonna start looking around this ravine to see if anything has changed.
You can do the check.
I followed.
Looking around you, after everyone's been addressed, you see now close to 20 sets of eyes peering over the shadows of the rocks, locked and watching every single movement you all take as you head towards the Black Scar.
Does he mean for us to win in combat here?
Hey, you shot that at him?
No, I'm asking you guys.
Well, last one started following him, so.
I think we should just follow him.
Like, I don't think we're in a spot to really disagree with anything that's going on when it comes to this guy and what he wants.
We should just go along for now.
Rather not get my ass handed to me just yet.
Yeah, fair, but I don't. We may not have a choice in the matter.
We'll see.
Suppose we follow for now.
Yeah, that's one's gonna try to make sure he keeps up.
Everybody else?
Yep.
Yeah.
Follow, I guess.
Yeah, just follow.
So as you begin to follow and traverse, each step seeming to become more lethargic and difficult as coming closer to the Black Scar, you begin to realize the radiating heat that you start to suffer through isn't so much coming from the open pits of lava that seems to be spewing all over the place. As you get closer to these black walls, you start to feel that the heat that resonates in this area is being localized in the walls itself as you pass by, and it feels akin to walking into an oven of sorts.
Ashton's just shaking, kind of a little purring in the process. Nice.
And as you take each step, the soles of your shoes slowly begin to leave foot trails of the melted soles from each step as you make your approach. Walking into the Black Scar is like walking into a crypt, as you see large walls that seem to tower to each side of you. These small holes that seem to be allotted in a very particular stance, always evened out perfectly, not a single one being out of order. Though,
so what about my snake bot going around the floor? Considering you're talking about the souls.
Please wait until I'm done describing.
Sorry,
God,
go on.
Bitch.
So walking through, you see these black holes that are carved in the walls. Looking in, fully expecting to see a casket lodged inside, but instead, just nothing but dark crevice in each one you pass. And paying attention to them, they seem to be one in hundreds. You continue to move on as you pass by a large doorway that seems to be dictated with images and symbology of whoever this person is you're following, and looks to be telling his tale in these iron doors, one of which looks to be battling a great beast with multiple arms. Another, him standing against a singular opponent with the most demonic looking blade one could imagine. Another, him besting what looks like a dragon, him on top of its back, raising his gauntleted arm up, striking it. All gloriphonics that seem to direct him as the center of it. Once you move past these doors, you start to pay attention to the floor as it's carved out in what looks like a black rock-like material that once you actually come in here, the heat that was ever present on the outside seems to vanish instantly, as it's a lot more comfortable in here than it was walking to the point to get here. And as you get inside, there's soft candlelight that seems to line the halls as he leads you down a path that goes into a large throne room. Him erecting himself properly on his throne as you all taper in behind him.
Clue me in on what I missed.
Essentially, I talked to him about us being here. Talked to him that Riceland sent us. He sneered at that. Seemed that there would be some sort of history between him, Riceland, and whoever's in the spire.
Right.
I suggested from a sense motive that he might have some other, while not exactly into the whole rivalry between Riceland and the guy in the spire, he still kind of has something of a part to play in that, sort of, kind of. And after I mentioned that, he suggested that he takes us here to test us, or I don't know, something like that. Test our metal, I guess.
He wants us to prove ourselves.
Prove ourselves. I believe that was the specific
Okay,
term.
cool.
Because that always goes well.
Right.
We're
Astro
not
says
gonna
like
have to kill anything.
seem to be very accomplished person. How was the dragon? Was that a hard battle or got any trophies from it?
As you say that, he just puts a lazy arm on the butt of the chair and a fist in his chin as he inclines his head down to the ground. As you notice, as you're walking here, this black stone doesn't, on second glance, not really stone. It looks more like plates or scales.
That's nice. That's nice. I respect that. That is good.
It's
Tip my
considered the art
horns
is
to
quite nice to look at, I suppose. A bit
Mm.
violent.
He was boring.
I'm gonna roll because you specifically said knowledge. I'm sorry. You specifically said demonic swords. I'm just gonna roll a knowledge demon, see if I have any idea what that means, or if it was just, you know, flair of the language to describe it.
Say again?
You specifically said demonic sword in one of the descriptions, so I just rolled another knowledge demon, see if I know anything if that's tied to any sort of demon knowledge that I would know, or anything from the infernal plane.
You do. That seems to be the sword called the Soul of NxT, which is a sentient sword. That true form is a demon, but was melded and changed into being forged into a demonic-like sword, which has been lost for demon generations.
Shit. Yeah, that was a nifty sword I saw in those paintings. Where'd you get it from? Well, tapestries or whatever they were.
It was an iron door and it was carvings.
Iron door, right. It was on the door. Okay, I thought it was like on walls. All right.
This is not why I brought you here to answer your petty questions.
Right. Sorry.
You wish access to the tower.
Suppose so?
Yes, we do. Also, I never got your name. I feel like I should be addressing you by something.
He kind of smirks to the intrigue on that. I am the breaker of 1,000 spines, the barrier of hundreds upon hundreds of husbands and sons.
Okay.
The killer of Kongan, the Black Wing. I am Lord Hatad, and you'll address me thusly.
Of Kongan. And, sorry, the name? Knight. I'm not asking this as Astron, as Knight, because I'm pretty sure I would have heard this. Okay. Hatad. Thank you. Alright, Mr. Hatad, your Highness, Your Majesty, Sir. It's great to meet you. It's truly an honor. Killer of Kongan. So, what are we here for?
To prove your mettle, to be worthy of walking my bone halls.
Okay. You see, so before we do any of that, I feel like you're gonna be asking about something of the combat orientation. You see, you kind of nerfed some of our stuff and some of us. So if we're gonna do that, if you really want to see like what we're really made of, are you gonna, get us some back of that a little bit?
If what you're made of is from what you've lost, you don't deserve to pass my halls. Strength and might is the only true factor in my eyes.
Great! It's perfect!
Much help then.
That shade, though.
Okay. So, are we gonna be fighting someone? Are we gonna be lifting some weights? Or
We're gonna be fighting each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm
don't tell me
thinking.
we're fighting each other.
Choose your champion.
Oh.
I will pit against mine.
Oh.
Oh,
no.
I see.
This.
Him. Definitely him. I just like point at Ryko.
Yeah.
So wait. Let's just huddle up. Let's just talk this out. That's what kind of just ushers everyone a little bit away from the throne.
Huddle up. Oh my god.
Yeah. He goes like this, expecting everyone to,
Actually,
No?
Almond doesn't.
No, I just lower his arm.
Okay. All right. So, obviously, it's not going to be any of the three of us squishies. It's up to you two. Now,
I think a big guy.
I saw this one, as I point to Raya, almost die. So, however, you hit very hard, though. How fast can you dish out that damage?
Who?
You, Raya.
Probably not fast enough.
Okay.
Definitely a big guy.
Yeah, now, Mr. Rykor, you're a wall.
He's basically a tank. I think we should let him do it.
Well, we're both tanks, but I'm offensive and he's defensive.
Right. I feel like I
The
don't.
question is, do we want to go offense or do we want to go defense?
Well,
he
I
can take
feel.
more damage than you can, though.
Yeah,
Before.
that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Is the damage taken, not the damage dealt.
Yeah. I have a feeling because if our champion dies, I have a feeling we're all gonna die. So I'm gonna say go with the one with the best life expectancy, Mr. Rykor. I choose you.
Rykor, is your shield still up to taking as much damage as it usually does? Or did the statue get rid of what magical properties usually protected it?
It definitely appears to.
It seems intact. I have no connection to Titania here. I'm not sure exactly why.
Who?
Titania.
His god.
Never heard of him.
Listen, this should be Raya's fight.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
You think?
It should. Remember what I told you, Raya? Now's the
I
time.
remember you did something really terrible and you started fighting her and you punched her in the face.
I mean, I'm all for, character development, but I don't think now's the time. I think now we're supposed to be,
I think that's
practical.
a terrible idea.
I'm going to say so as well.
As you're
I mean,
going
I'd
through
like to
this
say
conversation,
nice things.
you hear with a resounding, "Enough squabbling! Choose!"
No.
Him. I just again point at Michael.
Just
All three of
Rykor.
us pointing at Rykor.
The squishies.
I'm just staring at Raya with a knowing nod.
I guess it's up to Raya.
There's
That was odd.
I'm
better
gonna
idea
step
for Michael to do it.
forward away from
Well,
everyone.
does she want to do it? Or
As Raya steps forward, are you
don't do it
champion.
though.
I couldn't hear what you said, Knight.
Are you their champion.
I sure as hell hope I am.
Why?
Astros cat having a minor conniption in the background.
Riker, why?
He gives
Finds a wall
off.
and just starts banging his head on it.
He gives off a very telling nod as he stands up. Then prepare yourself. Before the next cycle, you will wage combat against my champion.
If we're not doing challenges or anything, could we have our magic back, please?
He glares at you with a very telling, angry look, which seems to speak in volumes to that question.
I think we should probably
But
leave
take that
alone.
as a maybe later.
So, next cycle, right?
And then we will give honor to the baneful flame. Now, leave.
Cool. Where should we meet you?
Just got here, I have to leave again.
Within my courts, you will be led when the time is right.
Okay, so you just want us to just leave the fortress and stay outside the door for like the next cycle?
He just looks at you with his arms crossed, eyes gleaming with hatred with every second that goes by with you guys still being here.
I'm gonna
Astron
turn around, I'm gonna start
bows.
walking away. I'm
Yeah,
pushing
Astron bows
Astron in front of me.
As he walks away,
go.
thank you, your lord, your killer of Cognan and
Nope,
Stop,
shut up. Stop
Mr.
talking.
Uta-
Stop,
okay, bye.
stop talking, just go.
And as you guys hurriedly get pushed outside, he stands there erect, muscles beaming and eyes glaring as the iron doors close from the scene. As we're going to actually spend this time to take our first break here.
That was fast.
Yeah, I got things to do
What
as a
a prick.
family. So,
Like-
thank you guys for watching. We're going to take a quick 10 to 15 minute break and then come back to continue on with how the group is going to deal with this little interesting turn of events. So, thank you guys for watching. Be right back. Peace.
Chris,
You glitched out
You
there.
froze.
Say that again.
I said, Chris, you're the worst!
Why'd you do that? Chris, why?
Because it's too perfect.
So
You're gonna
Rykor's
get a
like,
kill!
Rykor is the worst person when it comes to being like, no, believe in yourself.
What?
Like, no, this
Are
is
you
not
trying
the
to
time.
get
This
her
is not a story, okay? This